What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I believe we got in everything we need to get started with this exhaust system now. So let me show you what I got to work with, and then I'll show you what the plan is. So this is some of the material I have here to work with. I did get a stainless steel downpipe actually way before I knew that I would actually have to modify this in order to get it to work on here. If I knew that, I probably would have just ordered the flange and made the whole thing myself, but we'll get to modifying that up. I'll show y'all here in a second why we have to modify that. I have a couple of hangers there. I may end up having to get another one, but I think with those two and a custom mount that I'm going to show you here in a little bit, I think that'll be plenty of mounting locations to hold the exhaust system steady. So we do have the 3-inch downpipe, and I want to run a 4-inch exhaust on this. So I do have a bunch of 3-inch here to work with on modifying that downpipe. And then over here we have a 3 to a 4. I think they call it a reducer, but on ours it'll actually be expanding from the 3 to the 4. But anyway, with that we also have a 4-inch V-band clamp, and it comes with the V-band that you weld onto the exhaust pipe itself. I will likely go right from this to that V-band. I don't know if you can see how that fits, but that fits right in there just perfect. That'll be very easy to weld up compared to our kind of butt-in welds. This kind of has a little lip on the inside of the V-band where this sits down into. Sits down in there sturdy. So we do have a little shorty muffler. This is just a 5-inch diameter muffler. I believe it's about a foot long. We do have 3 of these 90-degree 4-inch stainless, and then we also have a 4-foot section of, I think that's 4 foot. We also have a 4-foot section of just straight 4-inch stainless as well. Now, doing the exhaust, it really doesn't need to be stainless, but I figured since I had to custom make this exhaust anyways, I might as well just step it up to stainless and do it that way. I had to buy all the parts anyways, and the 3-inch stainless up here actually is some of the leftovers that I had from the charge pipes. So really the reason we need to modify this downpipe on this side of the engine here, if I put the downpipe where it should be going, it actually will hit this up pipe here. So we will need to kind of modify it in order to push the tubing out just a little bit. I'll probably end up having to cut off that flange up there and do more of a sweeping 90 into that. That way it'll push it out from the up pipe a little bit here. Now I believe the way I want to run this exhaust system is go ahead and modify that down pipe up to come out a little bit further. It'll come down here, and then I'll probably try to do like a 45 that'll put it closer to the frame out here. The reason for that is really just going to be for clearance. There is a finite amount of room within the tunnel there, and I want to be able to make sure everything fits in place without getting in the way. We don't want to get too close down here because we do have the drive shaft that needs to go in there. We also have a few connections on the transmission here as well that we need to have room for. That'll also hopefully be able to let us run that cable up through here and away from that exhaust system, so we don't have to worry about burning that shifter cable that we got. So once we have that 45 that comes down closer to the frame here, right after that turn kind of to run parallel here with the frame, I'll have the expansion from the 3 to a 4, the V-band clamp. The 4 will go up over the transfer case here. I'll use a part of one of those 90s in order to kind of get it to go over. And right about here, I'll insert the muffler into the system, and then we'll have a 90 degree that'll come down. The reason for that is because we need it to drop down below the frame here. So we'll have that 90 come down, and maybe the other 90 come out this way, and then we'll try to do a 4-inch pipe out the side. That may change. For right now, I may end up just having it 90 downward, where if I do want to come out the side, I can go ahead and weld that up as well. But that'll also keep it out of the way for right now until I get the body on, and I'll know how much room I have up here in front of the back tire and everything. So we will have a custom mount that I'll be making in order to mount up to the transfer case here, or to this bracket on the transfer case. I'll either be drilling a couple of holes in here so that it bolts up to that, or making a mount that'll come off of this. I'll try to make it kind of a rubberized mount, that way any shaking and stuff just kind of isolates more. Back here, this is the old exhaust mount system that they had. I did not like the old system that they had to mount this. It was kind of a weird rubber circular thing that was bolted up there. And it's very hard to get to and unbolt if you want to drop that exhaust system out. Actually, whenever I removed the exhaust system before, I went ahead and cut apart that rubber piece just to be able to remove it a lot easier. I will be utilizing the hole locations here in order to do a mount. We'll use one of those rubberized mounts that I showed you earlier. There will be a mount there, and of course up front there we will have the downpipe connected to the back of the turbo, and then the V-band clamp for this part. If I'm really concerned with it, I can look into a possible mounting from the frame here, a rubberized mount for a little bit closer up here. I don't think it's going to have a problem though. So first things first, I think we need to start with the downpipe. That way we get the location we want down here, and get that all welded up, and then we'll continue going back with it. And when we get to the back, I may go ahead and mount up the muffler how I want it and kind of work between that in order to connect the two, just to get the angle down right and the mounting locations that I really want there. So in doing this, you need to also be aware that there are structures in the tunnel of the body that run across from each side in order to put a little bit more stiffening in the body so it doesn't bow as much. As you can see, this is one of the locations there. It used to come across, and then the body would mount up to the location there. Now with the 3-inch lift, it will be 3 inches above what that is. So basically you need to be aware that 3 inches above that is going to be a brace, that you're not going to be able to have the exhaust there. So just be aware that there are a few obstacles on the body for your exhaust system as well. That's also one of the reasons why we are going to push it out down here. We will have the shifter somewhere in here, and I don't want the exhaust system to be running into that. Well, that's enough talking. Let's get to modifying up that downpipe. Oh yeah, and I also got another 14-inch saw disc here. This is from Diablo, so it's a different brand than the Evolution disc that I had that came with this saw. But this is called a Steel Demon, and it is actually for strictly metals and stainless steels. Whenever the last saw blade I had was actually a multi-material blade, which is what I'm thinking is why it didn't last very long. But this blade, I just tried it out and actually works even better on the stainless steel. It has a super clean cut here. If it'll focus in, focus. There, we kind of got it there. But it has a super clean cut. I thought the other cut was clean on the last blade, but this is just even better. So here we have the first modifications to our downpipe. I went ahead and cut this bottom part off here. I have another piece that comes off of there and angles downward. I'll show you that here in a second. But I did end up having to cut the tip off of this. That way I could angle that top part there back a little bit so that angle was not too tight. It just had it basically tucked a little bit too close to the heads. I wanted to get it away from the heads just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it did take out maybe 20 degrees or something. Alright guys, it's a new day. I actually already went and took this 45-degree piece of pipe here that I was talking about last time and welded it onto our downpipe now. Let me go attach this to the back of the turbo and show you kind of how it fits up there. Alright, so we have that just loosely installed. It's still able to swivel and everything. So basically what we did was, because of that angle up there, got too close to the head, we ended up cutting that just a little bit, re-welding that in so it took it further away from this head here. That is our 45-degree piece there, drops down towards the frame. We have clearance with our up pipes there just fine. Now down here I got to figure out now where I want to cut this, because whenever I cut that, so basically we will have a 90-degree there. That'll kind of angle up just a little bit. That way our pipe further back there will clear our transfer case. But once that 90 degrees welded in there, we will again cut this a little closer to the 90 degree, probably right after the 90 degree actually. And then let me show you what we have that we're going to attach right after that. We will have this. It's a 3-inch to a 4-inch pipe. It's basically was in the process of welding this into a V-band clamp. It's a 4-inch V-band clamp. On the other side of this V-band clamp, I'll weld in the 4-inch exhaust pipe, the piece that'll go up and over the transfer case. Next thing I'm going to do on this is I'll go ahead and weld it all the way on the outside. I have it tacked on the outside and fully welded on the inside there. Figuring out where I want to cut that down pipe to get the 90 degree in there to get to welding this onto that as well. So on our down pipe, we went ahead and marked off and cut our tubing there. This is that 90 degree we were talking about before. Went ahead and cut that as well. Welded on the 3-inch to 4-inch and then the 4-inch V-band clamp there. This did take a while because we ended up having to take it back and forward to our bench in order to cut and kind of grind a little bit. That way we get this angle of the exhaust right. Now, once it comes down, we want it just a little bit of distance from the frame, and then further as we go back, it gets a little bit further from the frame, but not a whole lot. So there we have our finished down pipe. We got it in place where we need it, hopefully. I believe all of the spacing for the parking brake lever and the shifter and everything will clear just fine. We do have it coming down quite far into the frame there, so we do have quite a bit of clearance up top. So I went ahead and tacked in the 4-inch tubing onto that 4-inch V-band clamp just to kind of get an angle of where this exhaust was going to go after it had that 90 degree bend there. I wanted to be able to see where it's going to end up back here. Now this is going to work out great because I have something under here right now just to kind of hold up the weight of it. But on the underside of this tubing here is our transfer case, and we have a pretty good distance away there. It's not a whole lot, but it's just enough. That'll be a good midpoint mounting spot for our exhaust system here. So that's going to do it for us for this weekend. We got the downpipe all modified up, and we even kind of got started with the rest of the exhaust. Next episode, we will continue with the exhaust. We'll get that finished. We'll go ahead and get that muffler in there, that other V-band clamp, get everything ran. It's going to look nice, and I think it's going to sound pretty good. I hope y'all liked this episode, guys. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, share. Please feel free to share with whoever might kind of like this content. I've noticed recently my subscriber count has kind of just leveled off and flatlined right now. So if we can get those subscribers coming back in, that would be awesome. I want to kind of keep going with this, and if y'all like this channel, I hope to continue it and work on more projects even after we're done with this Humvee. So please feel free to share with whoever you like. Again, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see y'all next time.